Hi, and welcome to Dwayne's Guitar Lessons. In today's video I was going to show a little bit how to play Firehouse. A student asked me about that, and I was going to play it on, he asked me about playing it on the guitar that I built with the Fire, but that's a right-handed guitar, so I can't play it with that guitar. I'd have to make another guitar like that, left-handed, and I might do that. People seem to like that SG style guitar, so I might do another one like that. But mainly I built them right-handed because so I could have my students check them out, tell me what they think of them. You know, most people play right-handed, got a couple play left-handed, but I did that so I could just get some feedback on it. So what I'm going to do is show you a little bit of the intro to Firehouse, okay? I'm not going to show the whole song. That would take a little long, but I'm going to just show you some of the techniques that are used in this song, okay? Now, first of all, when you play Kiss, you want to tune your guitar down half step, okay? If you're going to play with the recording, which I usually try to do. Which means that it's in the same tuning, but everything is down half step, meaning that instead of this being an E, it's now going to be a D sharp or an E flat, okay? Same thing with this, A, it's going to be A flat or G sharp. Sometimes in your tuners it'll be either sharp or a flat. Some tuners are different, so if yours does sharps, and just bring it down to D sharp, G sharp, C sharp. This is the G, that would be F sharp. B would be A sharp, and then back to D sharp for the E. Okay, so you want to make sure you tune down half step. Now this song starts is an A. It starts with an A chord, like just an A. I usually just bar it like this. Okay, and then what they do is they do like a reverse power chord, is what I like to call it. It's more kind of like a harmony chord. Now if you were to do that with power chords, it wouldn't sound right. But by using these kind of chords, like reversing the power chord, bringing it upside down, you get a different kind of sound, more like a diminished type of sound, a little bit darker. So you go with an A, and I just kind of bar that. And then you have like a reverse power chord. Your third finger is going to be on the 4th string, 4th fret, and your first finger is going to be on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So just think kind of like a power chord, but reverse your fingers. And it's an upside down power chord is what I like to call it. And you're going to move from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. So it's going to be A, and then upside down power chord, and then back again like this. Okay? Now if you're not used to playing those kind of chords, I would highly recommend learning them because they're very popular in a lot of this kind of music. A lot of songs, not just Kiss, but other bands too, you know, Van Halen and other bands like that use these kind of chords. So I would recommend that if you don't know them, learn them. If you have any questions, you know, if you want me to show you a little bit more in depth about that, I can make a video for that and show you that, okay? And so once again, A. Then you're going to come up here to the 7th fret, and you're going to bar these bottom 4 strings. And if you're not good at barring, once again, learn that, practice it, because it's very popular in this kind of music. You want to bar that, and then you're going to do this thing that I showed you, like in Cold Gin. And what's about learning like songs from certain bands is they have their own techniques, and once you learn those techniques, you'll notice them in some of their other songs. Like this one right here is something that he does in Cold Gin, where he's going. But instead of doing the double pull-offs, we're just going to go, which is you're just barring the 7th fret, and then you're taking your 2nd finger, putting it on the 2nd string, 8th fret, and your 3rd finger on the 4th string, 9th fret. So you go. And then bring that chord, that finger, your 3rd finger here, down to the 3rd string, and you got a power chord, which is an A power chord. Okay, so you got an A here, and you got an A here. Or you could go back to here, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're playing an A, okay? And you're just down picking, no up picking, or no alternate picking. So once again, start here with the A up here, reverse power chord on the 2nd fret, move to the 4th fret, back to the 2nd fret, back to the A, back to the 2nd fret. And then you come up here to the 7th fret, just like your A, just bring it down, put your 2 fingers down, or actually you're going to play it open first. and then power chord. Okay? Now, if you have any questions out, let me know in the comments, or you can contact me at my website at dwayne@dwaynesguitarlessons.com, and I'll try to answer your questions. If you need me to make a video of some of these techniques to show it to you a little bit more in depth, I can do that, okay? And this is kind of my E-flat guitar that I'm tuning down. My other guitar that I built, this one right here, I love this guitar. And if you haven't seen the building of this one, I highly recommend you go back and look at the videos on that, because it's really a cool guitar, okay? But this one's in standard tuning. So I basically play 3 guitars. I got my standard tuning guitar, I've got my E-flat guitar, and then my acoustic. I haven't really done any videos on acoustic for a while. It's just hard to take time to do all that stuff. But anyway, so once again, let's review this intro real quick. We've got reverse power chord, or upside down power chord. You come down here to the 7th fret, bar it on the bottom 4 strings. And like I said, if you're not good at barring, practice it. Get it down. Do what you got to do to get that technique down. And this is kind of hard too, but if you learn a cold gin, you should kind of have this technique down already. And then a power chord right there, the 4th string power chord. And as you can tell, Kiss use a lot of these kind of things, you know, like cold gins right here. See, very similar to this song. And like I said, when you learn people's songs, you start to see their techniques, and you know, you learn their techniques, hammer-ons or pull-offs or slides, certain chords they use. And then when you learn more of their songs, you'll start to see this in more of their songs and get their style down. Okay. So once again, reverse power chord, 2nd fret, 4th fret, back to 2nd fret, back to the A, back to the 2nd fret, and back to A again. And then you're already at A, so you just have to bring that down to the 7th fret. Okay, and that's the basic D intro to that. And then he comes up here and goes. It's really not too difficult of a song. It kind of does that back and forth. There's a couple little things in there the Ace does, but you know, I can show that in another video. I'm just kind of showing you the intro to this. I don't really like to make these videos too long, because I know everybody's real busy with a lot of stuff. And if you want something in particular, just let me know and I'll try to help you out with that, okay? So, the next part, you're at the A, and you're gonna pivot off that G note on the 3rd fret, 6th string. That's a G note. If you don't know that by now, I highly recommend going back and look at some of the videos that I did before, so you know your notes. You should know your notes. That's really important. You know, a lot of people don't really know their notes. They just kind of play by ear, and you know, some people don't even know what chords they're playing. To me, I think, you know, just if you're going to play with people for communication purposes, know your notes. Okay, it's very important. Know your chords. You know, if somebody says, "Yeah, it's a G," know where G is. Is it a G here? Is it a natural G? You know, is it a G here? You know where some of those are. Those basic chords. Okay. You don't have to know every single one. I mean, there's thousands of chords to be played on the guitar, but you do want to know a few of them, okay? Your basic ones, G, A, B, C, D, you know, and be able to know it. And a lot of rock is played in power chords, so you want to definitely know that. You want to know that G's here, A's here, B's here at the 7th fret, 6th string. You got an E here at the 7th fret, 5th string. You got your open E. Know your open power chords. I made some videos of that before, so go ahead and I would recommend going back and checking those out, okay? And then there's tons of people on YouTube showing you that stuff too. So it doesn't really matter where you check it out at. Just find it, research it, learn it, and then that way, if you play with somebody, you can, you know, it helps for communication purposes, okay? Because I've played with people before in the past where I'm like, okay, what's the chord progression? And I go, I don't know what the chord is, but you put your fingers right here and do this, and it's like, oh, okay. So it makes it just a little bit harder for communication, but I think that's real important, okay? Know your notes, know your chords. It's real important. At least the basic fundamentals of them, okay? You don't have to know all the other stuff, but you can, you know, if you just keep playing, I would recommend learning that stuff. You always want to keep learning. Music is It's an art and it's a science, and it's something that you can just continuously learn. That's one thing I like about music. You're never going to learn it all, and there's always more stuff to learn. There's always more techniques to learn. Everybody plays a little different, and every time you learn a new song, you learn something new. So hopefully in this particular song, you're learning something new that you didn't know before. Okay. So once again, we're pivoting on that G note. Okay, and then coming back here to the part we played in the beginning. She'll adore you, and she'll floor you with her wisdom and her vision, and you'll love it and think of it till you lose all intuition. Okay? Then he comes into doing this other part. Paul does chords. Okay? But I'll make that in another video if you want. I just want to show you the intro to this because it's playing something different, these upside down power chords, and not everybody knows these, so I would highly recommend learning these, and also this double, kind of like a double string thing here that you're doing here with the third finger on the fourth string, second finger on the second string, on the 8th and 9th fret. Or you could go if you want. Doesn't really matter. It's a little bit darker here, a little bit brighter here. And chords are kind of like colors. You know, that's why I was saying art and music are very much one and the same. You know, if you watch my videos, you've seen me, you know, I'm building some guitars, painting some guitars, and to me it all goes hand in hand. You know, guitar lessons could be about learning guitars, it could be about building guitars, painting guitars. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's guitar orientated and you're learning something, then that to me is what really matters, okay? So, let's just go over this real quick. Let's do a quick review, and then we're gonna end this lesson. Once again, barring your A chord. Now, if you're not used to barring, I highly recommend working on it. Just practice it. All you have to do is put your finger there. You don't have to bar all 6 strings necessarily for this particular song. Just to the 4. Get that kind of sound. And then these upside down power chords. So just think like if you had a power chord on the 4th string, 2nd fret, you just reverse it. Just reverse your string, or your fingers. Put your 3rd finger up and your 1st finger down, and now you've got that reversed chord. And it gives you kind of this like diminished sound. And then come down here to the 7th fret, bar that like you did up here on the 2nd. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'd appreciate it, and I'll try to help you out with your learning there, okay? And then, of course, this next part, so that was the intro, right? And another thing I was going to tell you, too, this part's staccato. Staccato means erupt, like when you play a note. That's staccato. Sustained is like when you're playing that A chord. Okay, so when you hold the note out, that's sustained. When you let it play abruptly, that's staccato. So this part is kind of staccato. And the way you do that is just hit the chord, and then I usually take my hand and just stop the strings with my hand. Okay. And you're sustained on the A. Come down here to the other A. Then you could do a little slide. I usually do a little slide here, like that. You know, you don't have to do that if you're not, you know, good enough to do that. But I like to do it. Kind of helps me stay in time a little bit better. Okay, so that's the first part. And then the second part was the A again. Or you could go. Doesn't really matter. I just used this. And I've shown you that in some of the other songs too that I've done. That they do that in, you know, a lot of people do that. You know, a lot of rock music, they don't always use full chords. Sometimes you use partial chords and things like that. So that's something that you really gotta got to take into consideration. And it just allows you to move from chords faster like that, you know, because sometimes in rock, some of these songs, they move pretty fast. So in order to keep up with them, you got to kind of play like partial chords. Okay, so instead of just going to the full G chord, you just play the root. Okay, and you just come back to here. All right. So let's conclude the lesson there. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. You can, if you like the video, let me know. If you have any comments, let me know. If you have anything else you want me to teach or something like that, maybe you need some help with some technique, let me know. I'd appreciate it. And you can always learn more stuff about the way I teach at my website at dwaynesguitarlessons.com. So thank you very much and take care.